Reprobates, as far as the eye can see.
Well guys, we're in CALABOGIAN, Ontario. I mentioned 2 years back in Canada that Ontario is very flat as a rule. But as you head further north in the province, you get this beautiful sort of rolling terrain. And CALABOGIAN is far enough north just to get some of the nice hills and little mountains. Up front we have Chuck Harder. Believe it or not, that's his real name.
Chuck Harder!
Yeah, so Chuck Harder is head of security for Traction ERAD. You may have seen him in previous videos as Trike Man and all-round Canadian legend. I'm the sweep rider today, so I know I'm the slowest out of everyone, so they keep me at the rear. Treated like a mushroom, kept in the dark, fed nothing but shit.
Of course, the fun starts way before we jump on the bikes. Let's rewind a few hours to breakfast.
El barrio La Cachimba se ha formado la corredera. En el barrio La Cachimba.
Buenos días, Mateo. Mateo está un hermano de la revolución. He is one of the direct descendants of Castro himself. How are you today?
Sí.
Sí? This is good. This is good. I believe you will be riding the dirt bike today.
Sí.
Sí, sí, sí. You will not fall off?
Sí.
Sorry. I put in my throat.
Oh cool, I remember this hill from 2 years ago. They filmed Tim and Megs on it. So Chuck and I have elected to do the left-hand line, which is quite tricky. God, it was hard in the dry.
Meh. Not quite the warp speed of the Megasaurus and mighty Timbo, but at least I didn't put a foot down. Woo. And very nice of Chuck to pretend he got into trouble so I could feel better about my riding.
I was just saying to Chuck, I wanted to do that feet up, and about 5 times I almost lost the balance and the foot's hanging off the peg. So I consider himself quite lucky on that climb. Plenty slippery in here, lots of tree roots, so just doing the usual second gear and lots of clutch slipping. Short shifting into higher gears just to keep traction. I know good riders can rocket through this stuff with lots of throttle, but I prefer to just keep it safe and go for purely for traction. Earlier today we came across a group of horse riders. It was really cool. The first thing they said was, are you guys members of BME? And we said, oh, well, yeah, most of us were. And big smiles. And the horse riders were saying, you guys do so much for the environment around here and educating people about how to ride around horses and look after the place, which is really, really good to see. And they make sure residents are happy. They keep their bikes really quiet when riding anywhere near residents. And the residents love the club too for that reason. And it's just awesome. They're doing the best they can to get rid of the fucking dickheads who are messing around in our sport and doing their best to close down the riding areas. So good on you, BMA, and every dirt bike club out there. I know I've said this plenty of times before, but you watch Graham Jarvis doing hard enduro and man, such low revs, but speed as well. Oh wow, this is cool. I think it was about 2 years back, Traction E-Rag did a documentary with Graham Jarvis and Holden Haker and two of the local guys. And I remember this bit of powerline track, or hydro track, the locals call it, in the documentary. Very cool, I should rewatch it again soon. Oh, not much traction on those rocks. Well, I remember this track too. We did it the other way. It was with Paul Rodden, who is 77 years old now, and he's on this trip. I'm really hoping I get to ride with him and film him a bit later. Amazing guy. Really gives me hope that I might have more than a few years left of this. How good are these tracks? Oh. As usual, the camera will probably make it look very flat and grippy, but every little rock here is like a bit of ice, so I'm loving it. You've got to be very careful with your lines, and if you do hit a rock, you have to predict where it's going to throw the front wheel, just so you can kind of be ready for it and counterbalance. Rear wheel less of an issue. Stuff there. One thing I wanted to mention too was just conserving your hands. A lot of guys say they get sore fingers very quickly when riding, and other things like carpal tunnel, you know, general upper body fatigue just within a few minutes of riding. It feels like something's giving out. So obviously just taking it easy helps a lot initially. Just do a warm-up. So many guys are just into it so hard so early, you're not giving your body time. But after that, the default body position, you're gripping the body with your knees really well. That will take a lot of pressure off your arms, particularly when accelerating. And the other thing too is, we talk about the default body position, but also when you are accelerating hard, you can come forward, right forward to where you're even over your number plate or your headlight, just while you're accelerating. And because that puts your weight forward, it's much easier to go with the acceleration and not have to hang on with your arms so much. And another thing too is simply monitoring how hard you're holding onto the handlebars. Most of us, when we're learning especially, hang on to the bars much tighter than we need to, especially when we're in a bit of a panic situation or doing something that challenges us. So as you get more comfortable on a dirt bike, it really pays to just relax your grip on the bars as much as you possibly can. And there's an inverse relationship here with gripping the bike with your legs. The more you grip with your legs, the more secure you are on the bike, the less you need to hang on with your hands. So it's well worth checking how hard you're gripping before you start to think about, well, accessories like steg pegs or carpal tunnel surgery. Sometimes it just stems from bad technique. So check the easy solutions first. Anyway, enough talk. Time for some music. Oh, you're okay? Yeah, she's pretty slippery there.
Remember guys, if you are having any trouble with your fingers, hands or upper body strength, check out the tips in our arm pump video.